Welcome right now to the big story. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security, DHS, has revoked Harvard University's certification to enroll international students, citing a dispute over federal funding and policy changes. The decision affects over 6,700 international students who make up some 27% of the university's enrollment. Harvard has called the decision unlawful and is working to support its community. It is a development that is affecting a number of Jamaican and Caribbean lives and families. And so this morning, we're very pleased to have with us to look a little deeper into this matter, the Managing Director of the Caribbean Immigrant Services, my good friend, Irwine Clare. I almost said happy holidays, but I guess where you are right now, it's not a public holiday, right, Irwine? Good morning.
Well, I'm in Jamaica, so I live Jamaica.
Okay.
Jamaica, Queens, that is. But, in spirit.
I understand. Welcome, Irwine. So glad to have you with us this morning. Major development here, already affecting a number of families. I know of two parents already who are right now in a total state of confusion. How do you see this decision impacting Caribbean students currently enrolled at Harvard University, and what options do they have?
Well, this is a continuation of an administration that seeks to put politics in over regulation and the rule of law. And obviously, there are underlying factors here between the present administration and Harvard University for their reluctance to yield to the demands of the United States president. And one could argue that this results in the retribution that is now taking place towards Harvard. And first, we must say that quickly, at the moment, this does not extend to all universities that have foreign students as part of their population. This is specifically dealing with Harvard, but one can only anticipate that depending on its impact, that it could have other repercussions as well for others that may be resisting some of the overtures of this administration. Well, what it means is basically what it says is that if their student license are revoked from attracting international students, then those who would have had options to take up their stay at Harvard this year would find themselves in limbo and would now have to seek alternatives. And even those that are within the system now, their student advisors would be looking for alternatives for them to quickly shift them to other universities, because they also have a ticking clock here, and that is if they do not get back into the system, they could find themselves exposed to immigration challenges.
And could very well find themselves just having to come back home.
Yeah, without a doubt, because you see, basically what the government is saying, Secretary Noem is saying is that she's terminating Harvard student and exchange visitor program, which is a certification which allows the university to attract foreign students, those who would F1, M visas, and J visas, exchange programs. If you reverse that certification, then you are not in a position to accommodate or attract such students to your university. Now, let's understand it's something, Richard, that international student population amounts to almost 27% of the population at Harvard, which is about 6,800 students.
Yes.
Impacting a further, I'd say about 10,000 international persons there, because then you have to factor in professors and all those who are, visiting professors at the school and as well. It's a significant economic impact as well, affecting research, academic research, as well as scientific research. So this is not a small feature. So something you're saying just cast aside and say, well, that's another thing that the administration is doing to show just how strong this country is. It has ramifications that in the long run will harm this country.
Yeah.
Because let's not kid ourselves, Richard.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, countries like the United States depend largely on the brain trust from other nations. You know, so this is another decision that makes you scratch your head.
Yes.
You know, and I mean, I can't put it any other way as to what this is all about.
This is sending a message, I believe, to international students and scholars who might also be having considered studying or working in the United States, and it's not a good signal that they're getting now, is it?
No, it's not, because this is a net gain for the United States. This is a net gain for the United States. The record will state that probably more than 50-60% of the students are retained within the economy. That helps the economy at the higher level. You know, I don't see how this vacuum will be satisfied by domestic students. It's not there. The fact is that, and when you look at it from an economic standpoint, this is, if you do the maths on this, a Harvard degree runs from $90,000 to $95,000 a year. You're talking about 6,800 students. This is well over $500 million a year. Mm-hmm. And when you do the maths on that and how that circulates into the society and the impact it has on others, it's an economic hit of proportions. Now, the question could ask, can Harvard withstand this? Well, probably they can do so in a short run. Harvard has an endowment of over $52 billion. Mm-hmm. Okay, so they can withstand some shocks here, but it's not something that they can readily just pivot towards. It's like a cruise liner out in the harbor, out in the open sea. You can't just pivot and shift. Mm-hmm. It takes a while to turn. And so the point here is that one has to wonder exactly what is the end game here for the United States government. What's the message and the real message they hope to achieve from this? It can't just be because I don't like what you did, you're not adhering to DEI program, you're not. No. When are we going to stop cutting our noses off to spite our face? And this is what it looks like from a layperson perspective. Imagine
a family who has been struggling, working hard, taking care of a student who is at Harvard, who maybe is doing a 4-year course, and at the 3rd year they're hearing something like this. Now they're scrambling, trying to figure out what next. To the best of your knowledge, Irwine, are there any support services or organizations that will at this time provide Caribbean students affected by this decision with some kind of support?
Well, what I'd urge Caribbean students is now to reach out to their consulates and their embassies to see how they can help them. Many times you find a situation like this. Harvard is a very sophisticated institution. It has within its realm the necessity to facilitate transfers to other universities. I believe that that is one thing I'm quite certain that they have that mechanism in place. Because as we speak now, I imagine that they're working with other institutions of similar caliber to accommodate some of their students. Mm-hmm. You know, you're talking about 6,800, so they'll have some that will have challenges. But I'm quite certain that within their mechanisms, they'll be able to transfer students so that they'll continue on in their F1 visa status. Some situations may not be on par, but, as it is right now, in the short run, is to anchor yourselves in an institution to continue on your CVIS certification. Because if you fall out of certification, then you're now exposed to deportation.
Mm-hmm. This is a monumental development that is definitely going to be negatively impacting a lot of Caribbean homes and families. Do you have any information that suggests that other universities might actually fall into the same situation soon?
Well, we saw what took place in the summer at Columbia University. I'm surprised that they too are not facing this, but I'm quite certain that whether it be Brown or all the universities that would have probably had these major protestations on campus, and how their administration responded to the Trump administration. Maybe they pivot and yielded to their DEI initiatives and other overtures that the United States government would be requesting of them. Mm-hmm. This is as many legal scholars would say, this is an absolute overreach by the administration into academic institutions. Let's not forget, that institutions such as the Harvard, the elite schools, and we may criticize them and all that, but they provide significant investments into the research and development of this nation at the highest level. Research in medicines, finding cure for cancer and all the things that ails us. These are the type of research that you find that goes on in some of these institutions, or at least a preliminary stage. So, it's not just you going and get a degree and you walk out and that's it. Mm-hmm. These institutions have higher calling as it relates to the civil maintenance of society, as well as to its scientific maintenance. The preoccupation now in Washington has to do with the big, beautiful budget that was passed. But we must also recognize that these are in consideration to the budgets and all that, these are the little things that will have serious ramifications in the long run.
Mm-hmm. And talking about the long run, do you think?
The other situation, Richie,
what?
Is that it is also. I'd imagine that some other countries in the world with academic institutions of par excellence are now positioning themselves to capture this international student market, because there will be a need for students to explore their academic excellence globally. So what this is doing is slowly killing the international aspect of higher education in this country.
Mm-hmm. You have gone.
That has to be some.
Go ahead,
Sorry,
Irwin.
go ahead.
No, I was saying you have gone exactly where I was going. Continue your point.
Yeah, because the point is this. Higher education, if I just said to you that 6,800 students, and I imagine that there are thousands of students studying here in the United States, it's an impact strictly from tuition of $500 million. Can you imagine the billions of dollars that is spent in the academic student industry in the United States that creates jobs and wealth and sustenance in cities in the United States? What does that mean? What do we replace it with? Manufacturing jobs? Think about it. What are they thinking?
I don't know. And, as I said, you've gone exactly where I was going, because I was about to ask you whether or not you think the time has come for Caribbean students to look at educational opportunities outside of the United States, in countries away from the United States of America.
Oh, yes. I would say that if we have this type of policy taking place, why would you want to enter into the environment with these type of topsy-turvy situation where your hard-earned dollars and investments is being threatened? So I said, boy, Huey, step up your game. Step up your game, Huey, and all the other universities. Step up your game.
Yeah.
Because, let me tell you, this is crazy.
Mm.
It's still a small percentage of student population that goes to Harvard, yes, but it's a significant institution. And if you say Harvard today, who's tomorrow?
Right. To the parent and to the students who are impacted, in closing, what's your final word this morning, Irwin?
Well, a couple of things. Their students, they need to reach out to their kids and find out what is the plan that Harvard is making on their behalf, and what plans are they making on their behalf as far as transfers are concerned. And if at all necessary, reach out to the embassy in Washington. Find out if they are having any information that the State Department might have provided the embassies as far as that is concerned. But at the end of the day, it comes back to individuals acting on their own. And they now must seek out their international student advisor for guidance. I'm sure that Harvard, as the prestigious institution it is making plans, are in the process of reaching out to other universities to accommodate their students.
Mm-hmm. All right. Irwin, it's always a pleasure talking with you. Thank you very much for taking the time to speak with us this morning, and you have a great day today, my bro.
All the best, and I don't know if you say happy Labor Day, but go out and labor.
Most definitely.
Instinct the meaning of the day. Demonstrate it, Richie.
Yes, sir. Definitely so. Appreciate it, Irwin.
Right,
Take care. All the best, man.